Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth Best Ever Gaming podcast. First of all, we should address the elephant in the room. This is different to the first three podcasts because we're in a different setup. We did 3 episodes and then we got kicked out of that studio. So now we are recording from our new venue, Daniel's bedroom. All the better props in the background.
Chosen for the nerdiness.
Anyway,
There's a lot more behind the camera, but I'm sure you'll see that eventually.
Anyway, we should mention as well that there's only the two of us today because this is a special podcast. Given that it's coming up soon, we want to talk about E3. We'll just say that, but we're going to go through what's been confirmed for E3, what's been rumoured, and what we're hoping / unrealistic expectations for E3. Our own personal hopes. So what should we start with?
We're going to go through all the, if we talk like this, we're going to go through all the different sections, like different consoles, different PC, like Microsoft, Sony. I reckon we start with Sony, because it seems to, we're both big PlayStation dudes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The most.
Both of us want PS4 rather than Xbox One, so...
Well, I went PlayStation because PS3 had the free, like, online to begin with. Now I have to pay, but...
I went back and forth. I went PS2, Xbox 360, PS4. But anyway, so going from last year from Sony, what we saw was a really game kind of press conference, and that's why they won the show.
Yeah.
They showed off what they had, what they were bringing, whereas Microsoft focused on the TV aspect, and no one really cared, so they lost. And Nintendo came with one game, and hey, great game. Not dissing Breath of the Wild, really love it. One of my favorites of all time. But it wasn't really that exciting for people going in with Nintendo expectations. So from Sony this year, I think they're not going to have as many big announcements. It's going to be much of what we've already seen. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, see, I didn't watch E3 last year, and this is going to be my first E3 experience. So kicking off with a prediction without seeing it's a bit difficult for me.
All right, so just...
You let the layout.
For Daniel's benefit and anyone else who hasn't gone to E3, really you have... So press conferences for each company except Nintendo. They tend to do what's called as a Treehouse event or a Nintendo Direct, where they really just have an edited video of what's to come. But for PlayStation, Microsoft, Bethesda, EA, all the big ones, they get a bunch of people to come out and talk about their game, show a trailer on the screen, that kind of thing. Last year's E3 kicked off with God of War, and basically no one really knew what was happening because they had an orchestra playing the theme music from it, and everyone's going, this sounds a bit like God of War, what is this? And then they showed the trailer for the game, and then they didn't really have anyone talking in between, it was just game, as I said. So I think Sony's first up, I can't remember the order, I probably should have researched that.
I can get that up while you're talking.
Yeah, while I'm talking. But... we've had rumours and everything. Do we have any... There's no confirmed...
exclusives.
Yeah, Sony exclusives going to be shown for the press conference, but we've got rumours of, Last of Us 2 that was announced, Red Dead Redemption that was announced. Whether we see them at E3 or not is another thing, but...
The day's gone.
Yeah, Days Gone.
Oh, I'm excited.
Which was shown last year as well, but... That's pretty much where we think Sony's going to go with this one as well. They're going to really show much of what we've already seen from the last couple of years. So last year, their big games were God of War, Spider-Man.
Still waiting for Spider-Man.
Yeah, Days Gone, Detroit Becoming Human, whatever it is. All these kind of ones, and I think we're just going to get more in depth of that. Hopefully some release dates.
No, this is the wrong site.
Haven't got the press conference order?
No, I'll get it.
Still working on it. I'll keep ranting.
Yeah.
I think probably what PlayStation's hoping for their biggest wow factor will probably be centered around Death Stranding. Because the whole hype around Hideo Kojima, and when it came out last year, everyone just went nuts. So we've had rumours of this actor's going to be this actor. So we've had Benedict Cumberbatch be rumoured, Ryan Gosling be rumoured, Emma Stone be rumoured.
I saw some fan art of her, with how Mads has that face paint and all that. She had it like that as well, and it looked epic. I'll get that up as well.
Well, that's why it's coming.
Yeah.
We can put that in post.
Yeah, down here.
Around here, yeah.
Somewhere.
We'll figure it out.
I'll find the photo and we'll put it in.
Yeah, so you got a bunch of people sign up for that, which, if rumours are true, that's a good sign. It means people are excited about this game. It's going to have a lot of hype, a lot of people see potential, and that's really what Sony can hope for. Now, Daniel, you found an interesting idea, basically the PlayStation Switch.
So hopefully we can if we do that, we'll get a photo of it as well.
Yep.
I saw it on one of those Facebook game pages, and it's like the PlayStation Switch. It's their sort of answer to the Nintendo Switch, and it looks a bit flimsy for my sense. It's like a tablet kind of thing, and you've got the two controls either side. It's got the same principle. This was just a concept design, but I could see why it would go this way. It's the same sort of thing. It has the controllers on either side. They're like each handle for the PlayStation controller, slotted in like the Switch, and it's you're playing a PlayStation on the go. It looks pretty cool. I don't know if I get it.
That's the thing. When you showed me, I was pretty, what's the word, skeptical. Because looking at it, Nintendo's got a smash hit. Obviously, everyone else is going to try combine their, powerhouse of Sony and Microsoft. They're going to try copy the portable thing, but that's really what they tried to do already with the Vita. And it's like, well, you couldn't get it right then. Are they going to be able to do it now without copying too much of Nintendo?
See, I still got the Switch. It's my next on my list. Don't worry, guys.
It's amazing.
And I've got PlayStation 3 and 4. Like, I don't need it on the go as well. Like, I never felt with the PlayStation Portable. Didn't really feel like it. It's just for those kind of things, you need a big screen. I feel just because the graphic. You don't want something this big. I need to do it like this, not in front of me. This big.
I think it's more the novelty of like car trips and plane trips and stuff like that.
That's why you go for the old school Game Boys.
Yeah, true. Can't go past a good Pokemon.
I never played Pokemon because I never had an original Game Boy.
You're dead to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I played some of the simulators, but that's why I never got into the simulators at high school because I never played it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, oh, okay. But I got an advanced now, so I'm trying to get
into them.
Yeah,
into it.
Get Pokemon Arena on Nintendo 64. I remember playing that.
It's Pokemon Stadium.
Stadium, damn it, close.
Did I miss a Pokemon game? No, that's amazing.
It's like $150 though.
Yeah, it's because it's
64.
Anyway, moving because we got distracted by Nintendo.
I got the lineup.
You got the lineup.
So, this is the order. EA conference is on Saturday.
Yep.
Microsoft is Sunday.
Yep.
Bethesda is Sunday.
Yep.
The PC Gaming Show is Monday.
Yep.
Ubisoft is Monday.
Yep.
Sony's Monday. And then Nintendo's Tuesday.
Okay, so Microsoft's actually first this year.
Apparently there's a rumour that someone's coming in on... They've left Thursday blank for someone to come in. I was reading somewhere.
That's interesting.
I don't know. But yeah.
Be a big name. Well, anyway, we probably should start with Microsoft, but we'll go into them now. We'll come back to predictions later.
We'll come back to Sony since they're not first, so we'll go back.
We'll go Microsoft. So last year's mistake, they focused around TV, and considering Sony went for all games, as we said, that clearly won the conferences out of the two big companies. So they're going to be looking to storm back this year. And we've already heard about the announcement of the Project Scorpio, so we figure press conference is probably going to be centered around that.
It's all been pretty hush-hush, because we were having a look and you can't really find anything.
Well, they released the tech specs for it, but...
Oh, not on Scorpio, like in the Microsoft presentation. But
exactly. For games, so it's you've got a new console, and what does every new console need?
Games.
Your exclusive games, your big names, and... So we've really had rumours around, the big one we were talking about before this was the Halo. Do they bring a Halo back? And a lot of people are thinking, well, you did a 10-year anniversary for the first one, I think it was, or second.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Then you had Master Chief Collection for the 20-year. And then this has been another 10-year or something. 10 years since Halo 3. So people are hoping for that.
Halo 3
but look, I can't see that happening. Given Master Chief Collection with all that already came out, a year or two ago, whatever it was.
Halo was.
I'd say it's more likely that they're going to do a port where you can play some Xbox One games on the Scorpio. So that would probably be one of the big ones to come to Gears of War as well. They had a new one last year, so unlikely to do that again.
Just, hash out the trailers again and say you can play it on Scorpio.
Yeah.
Better graphics, better
4K
or whatever it is.
They'll focus on the big names, but it won't be anything new, we don't think. And similar to Sony, I think they'll bring back what they showed a bit of last year. So Sea of Thieves, people seem to be interested in. Not my cup of tea, really.
I haven't actually looked into it. What?
Yeah, so it's basically pirate warfare.
Yeah.
So jump across ships, kill each other, take the ship. It's
alright.
Acquired taste.
I reckon that would get old really quickly. It'd be the same sort of...
Exactly. It's a kind of chivalry effect, the For Honor effect.
Yeah.
Microsoft's bound to, because they've been trying to compete with it for a few years, bound to show off some form of VR. You've got PlayStation now, you've got HTC Vive. Yeah, so they'll probably show off the Oculus like they did last year, where they had, the big Minecraft display. But I can see them going into more, these games on VR you already love, bringing it to Microsoft.
Yeah, now we've got them too.
Yeah, so they've got all the money after, it was purchased by Facebook, I think it was.
I don't know.
Don't quote me on that. Could be right, could be wrong. They were purchased by some big company.
And then you were saying what you're hoping for.
Oh, we'll come back. Predictions later.
Okay.
Predictions later.
Yeah, because we don't have much on Microsoft.
No, we'll come back. So really the last big one to talk about is Nintendo. My favourite.
I still need to get into. I've never been a massive Nintendo fan. My brother had a Wii, and the Wii Sports was the biggest game I played.
Oh, don't knock Wii Sports. That was great.
Not knocking it, but I never transferred further into it, and then I just got a 64 recently. Played a bit.
Yeah, so you're starting from the start, just 20 years too late.
22. Yeah. Well, now I can appreciate it properly.
That's it.
Switch is on the next, as I said.
Well, Nintendo, as much as I love them, they're always a disappointment at E3. Let's be honest. Last year, bringing only Breath of the Wild, as good a game as it is, it wasn't enough for people. But like, well, what about your other stuff? Because the year before they did a direct, and it kind of got so reviews. They had, some hype around like Star Fox and stuff, which was announced, but that failed in the end. No. But it was mainly amiibo, and we're going to see more of that. That's standard. New game, new amiibos. Little money makers.
Yeah. They're popular though.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves them. Everyone loves them. Yeah.
No, exactly. And Nintendo, for one, have, out of the big companies, probably the most confirmed exclusives. And when I say confirmed, to be shown off, you've only got Splatoon, ARMS, and Mario Odyssey. So Splatoon and ARMS, two new franchises in Nintendo, and people seem to like them already. I enjoyed Splatoon for one.
It was a bit of fun.
Not going to get to ARMS, but...
we played a bit of that at the Rooster Teeth convention.
I didn't.
Oh, no, we didn't actually. No. We looked at people playing it. We just played Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. It's all you need.
And the Milking game, as you can see in our
1-2 Switch. Oh, jeez.
It was a bit of fun.
It was a bit of fun. In
front of 100 people.
Yeah. And given that those two games come out pretty much right after E3, Splatoon and ARMS, I don't think they'll show off too much. Maybe another game mode of each, new characters, that kind of thing. But the big focus, I think, for them is going to be Mario Odyssey, which people were upset when the Switch was announced that it wasn't coming out until a year later. Yeah. So... did we get hype. Yeah, exactly. Did we get ultra ambitious and say they're gonna release date, bring it up from winter 2017 for America to right after E3? It's not gonna happen. I can hope.
But I think that's still good because unlike the Wii as well, it's not gonna die too. It might, I'm not saying the Switch doesn't look like it's gonna do it, but like the Wii sort of, here it is, everything's here, and then it sort of lost traction really quick.
Absolutely.
So if they wait a little bit, there's still something to look forward to. Because I'm not sure where they're going to go. Like you can't mod a Switch kind of thing like that.
No.
So they'll probably need things to keep the hype up. Otherwise, I'm not saying it'll die quickly, but it might.
I think it's more the fear that it goes the way of the Vita, which is okay, we can't bring any big names, so we're going to stick to only indies.
Yeah. Well, if they've done Zelda, Mario Kart, now this is coming out later.
Well, that's why they've been so smart. Everyone was worried about the lack of games coming out, but you got Zelda straight away. You got Mario Kart a month later. You've got ARMS, their new big property, to come out next month, and then you got Splatoon, the old new one, which people love and jump on board another month later. And then you've got a bunch of small indie games to come out in between, and they seem to be announcing more. Monster Hunter 20.
Minecraft is coming.
Minecraft's coming.
I don't know how it's going to work, but...
Oh, it'll be fine. It's like the iPad versions and stuff. It will work. Minecraft always works. So you've got all these smaller games to really sustain people until the next really big one, and that's Mario. So that's why I don't see it being brought up, but it'll be interesting to get more in-depth.
Again, give it more of a hype. But they'll probably play the trailer.
Yeah.
Or the...
Because the worry was, and why people aren't surprised that it's coming out till later, is that it looked clearly like a game that was designed for the Wii U. It kind of looks a bit old. The graphics are a bit not as flash as the Switch could show off.
Polishing it off.
Yeah, so that's why it kind of looks like they've done all right, Wii U's dead. Let's move on. Let's really focus on the Switch now and give a bit more time, even though it looks finished for the Wii U. Let's bring it up to Switch standards. Yeah. And yeah, they'll take as much time as they need for it. I wouldn't be surprised if it even got delayed a bit. And so some rumours though. There's been some, I wouldn't say hype, some confusion why they've announced a game of Mario / Rayman Rabbids called Mario Rabbids Kingdom, or whatever it is. And yeah, don't know too much about it. We'll probably get a little bit of that.
Probably. It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Like, I always love Rayman growing up and all that kind of stuff. Like probably how I learnt maths.
Fun facts with Daddy.
Yeah. Probably didn't progress since that standard, but 1 + 1 is 3. What?
1 + 1 = 3 rabbits.
I always die at that level.
That's good.
good fun.
So we've got that rumoured. We've got Pokemon Stars rumoured. That's been rumoured since before the Switch got announced.
So just,
really,
again, transfer that over as well.
Yeah, because I'm more of a Pokemon fanboy. I don't know how much you know about this, but every Pokemon game they go, red, blue.
Yeah.
The initial ones, and then they do a kind of combined one into a third game for that generation. So Pokemon Yellow for that. Then you had Sapphire, Pearl. Sorry, don't hate me. I am a Nintendo fanboy. Sapphire and Ruby, and then you had Emerald.
Yeah.
The third iteration was just kind of the two combined. So people are thinking Pokemon Stars is basically going to be a Sun and Moon combined one.
Okay.
So instead of bringing it to 3DS, bring it to Switch. And I'd be excited for that. I'd buy it again. But another... Yeah. The other rumor was they were hoping... They were suggesting that Pokemon's going to come to be more of a console game, which would be the first one they've done since Pokemon Colosseum. So more of a 3D Pokemon kind of thing.
I'd
which
be
would
into
be
that.
Oh, it'd be exciting. Pokemon Colosseum was okay. Wasn't much storyline to it or anything, so
They need a mix between the two.
Yeah.
Something like that. That would work.
So I think that would bring the house down if they did. I don't think they will. Just knowing Nintendo, I always get way too excited for not much in the end.
Well, like, all they need to do is just say it and then, like, we're thinking of this and then just leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh.
I was like, when? What? So in terms of confirmed for the big studios and their exclusives, that's it.
Yeah.
And do you want to go into the...
I reckon we go through all the rumoured and then we'll come back for our
no,
prediction.
the
These are the rumoured ones as well, for just the general.
the non-exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
let's
into
do
that.
We'll do
Yeah.
that first, and then we'll come back and do all our predictions, or our hopes.
Yes.
So, no surprise, Red Dead Redemption, we were hoping it was going to be ready. It's not.
There's never going to be a chance.
But, again, we were saying before, it's not a bad thing, because they're probably getting it perfect.
Yeah, that's what they did with GTA 5.
Yeah.
It's what they did with Red Dead Redemption 1. It's what they did with all their games. And
That gives me more time to play Red Dead Redemption 1. Catch up to speed. The latest released Far Cry, the trailer just came out.
Far Cry 5, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about it?
Yeah.
I think it was cool.
I know some of your views. Yeah, I'm excited. I think
It's going to hit realistic.
first Far Cry game set in America, which is unusual for most series.
And it's going to be... I reckon it's going to be real controversial because it's like a bunch of redneck religious nut jobs from the trailer and from the live action ones.
In more of a realistic
Yeah,
setting.
it looks like mainly racist, mainly... I'm not trying to offend anyone here, and they've got nothing against Montana. They've never been there. It'd be cool to go. But like, looks like it's a bunch of racist hicks that, don't like blacks, don't like have slaves, have...
Yeah. Well, knowing Ubisoft, they're quite good at getting that cultural appropriation thing kind of right. You see in Assassin's Creed and they tend to get the cultural balance quite right without pushing it too far.
We'll see. I still think I'm going to play it. I've only played Primal.
Primal's
which
good
is a bit
fun.
different. I need to get more into it again, but we'll probably do a stream or recording of Far Cry 4.
Well, I think the biggest change is going to be going from like the Far Cry different wildlands like Primal, which is early years of the planet, and to Far Cry 4, it was more using, spears, bow and arrows. This is going to be the first one on while with guns, I believe.
Oh, isn't Far Cry 4 with guns? Or is it...
I'm not sure, small ones, but this is going to have like the full-on machine guns and stuff.
It'll be more. I reckon it'll be more a first-person Ghost Recon,
Yeah.
a Wildlands, or a sort of trying to go towards a COD or Battlefield type of setting.
Yes,
maybe.
Interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, that one.
On as you mentioned, Assassin's Creed, they're bringing out. We're hoping they'll be there. I don't see why they wouldn't be, because they've leaked or someone's leaked the image, the logo, and that it might be set in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool. I don't know how it's going to go in Egypt. There's not that many high buildings apart from the pyramids.
The issue for Assassin's Creed is what they came out and said years ago. They were releasing one every year, and then they've gone, all right, no one's playing them anymore. We won't release one until people show interest again. So it's a good sign that people are missing Assassin's Creed, I guess.
I got a bit sick of him.
Oh, I'm absolutely sick of them. I played about 10 minutes of Syndicate. It was fun. I just didn't have time for it.
Yeah, well, I was, as I said in one of the reviews for the movie review, I was one of those idiots that played the first one, start to finish, and got really bored of it. Like, it was good, but the same repetition, and the later ones have changed.
I was going to say, you should have played 2. 2 was the best.
Well, again, and then I watched Andrew finish it, so I'm like, I've seen the ending.
Yeah, well, who needs it?
I need to get into it. I want to play Black Flag.
Black Flag, yeah, it was a bit fun.
That was pretty good.
I just hate ocean games.
Yeah.
I'm sick of sailing across the ocean.
Fast travel.
Water levels are always bad levels. Let's just say that. Next, COD World War 2.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
You're a big first-person shooter fan and COD fan.
I'm a very big COD fan. Like, I stopped after Infinity War though. Not Infinity War. Advanced Warfare. Didn't get Infinity War because I've heard it was crap. But like, I'm sick of the jump jets.
That's the thing. COD went from nailing the first-person shooter and even just edging out Battlefield to going to, all right, how can we take it a step further? Space. Yeah. And people were joking about that. They did it, and everyone's like, well, that's not what COD should be.
Yeah, I think they tried to copy Titanfall. Like, I'm really into Titanfall 2 and think it's amazing, but it's a different sort of setting.
Yeah.
COD, you're used to the World War II, World War One setting. That's why it's the first time I played Battlefield and I've jumped ship for that because it was just so good and realistic. Whereas
it's a smart move, bring it back to its roots, give people what they want. Call of Duty is about war that people can relate to rather than sci-fi.
I've been reading a heap about it because I want to actually read about it before I go back into it. And apparently you're not going to be this guy that's super powered, going to save the world. You're just a normal dude that has to run and hide, kind of thing like that. So it's not going to be, I'm going to charge in and kill 100 guys by myself and win the war.
Yeah. But, work together.
Hopefully it goes to more like that Medal of Honor. I used to love Medal of Honor.
Because the thing is, the direction they were going before they've come back to this was more of the way that other games were doing it better. So Titanfall for one, and Destiny. Destiny just crushed all of them in the sci-fi shooters. It works so well, and it leads us to next game.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
I'm really hoping they don't do it with Destiny 1 and DLC pack after DLC pack after DLC pack. Because
I think people prefer that. The Destiny community would, because it was more that they gave you nothing and then didn't really give you anything for ages.
I
know,
DLC. I reckon it should be free.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $300 on one game.
Well, that was a mistake they made. Not enough gameplay really. It was just you were very limited, a lot of grinding.
But I bring back to Titanfall 2. They're releasing free DLC. It's all free.
Yeah.
And the only bad thing with Titanfall, they released it between COD and Battlefield, which I think was stupid because no one plays it.
Yeah.
And but I got it for $36.
Jeez.
I love it. It's one of my favorite ones now.
Yeah.
But no one plays it because Battlefield came out like a week later.
Well,
so they weren't that smart in that sense.
No. But
I'm excited for Destiny 2.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. Again, the risk is that a lot of people are saying it's looking pretty much like Destiny 1.5. It looks like just another expansion pack. I think there's going to be one raid, a few strikes, and a few new missions. And for me, they can't make that same mistake of releasing stuff too slowly. They need to come out with big guns.
Yeah.
And
they need to have a lot at the start, so that I think that we'll have a lot and then release some DLC so that you're still able to keep up. If not, because that's what I found as well. As soon as they started releasing DLC, I just fell behind, and I'm like, what's the point?
But that was the issue. The DLC was fixing it, was making it better. It only got good after the DLC because you had good story brought in with the Taken King.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know a lot about Destiny. I have a little soft spot for it because there's a Destiny track and I spent something like 300 hours in it. It's ridiculous.
But then that's like, why the Taken King? There's an expansion pack that's $100.
Yeah.
So it's another game.
Oh no, they were only $20 the expansion.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the Taken... that's still a release. Oh, you could buy the Taken King set.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was just like...
So yeah, it was a bunch of DLC and people getting frustrated with how much money you had to spend. And then they had the stupid emotes where you had to pay silver, which were microtransactions for them, on top of everything. And that lost a bit of its soul. So for it to really succeed, I mean, there's already a huge community around this Destiny. It's going to succeed.
For some people like us.
The challenge is bringing people back that started off
or
in
even new people.
Yeah.
Because then if it's too similar, people will go, oh, well, I'm already going to be behind the 8 ball. And then by the time I get into it, everyone's going to be level 6 million.
Exactly. That's the issue. But, we'll see.
What's next?
Last one, Battlefront 2.
Oh,
do you want to talk about it? You're excited.
I'm very excited. They're releasing storyline. I was disappointed. I still enjoyed the first one, the latest one that came out. It got a bit repetitive and boring because it was all the same and you only had 3 worlds and again also new stuff, all paying DLC. I'm a really advocate for not paying extra once you got the game.
Absolutely, just pay once.
Yeah, and so you didn't get any heroes, so I got all the basic stuff and everyone's like pulling out all these awesome shit and I'm just like, I don't want to pay another $50 to get.
And because of it, everyone stopped playing immediately, so even if you wanted to keep playing, you couldn't get a server.
But I've read storyline, so like the original Battlefront 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Fantastic storyline. So they're bringing that in.
From the dark side perspective as well, which I think will be interesting.
Well, technically the first one you transition from a clone trooper to the stormtrooper.
Yeah.
So you technically get both. But this side's, and it's gonna be after Endor.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool.
I don't know and it's like a whole new story. Like you got that whole jump between Endor and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in Rey and Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Which is gonna be really cool. They're going to have space battles.
Space battles,
as
yeah.
well.
And they did that
fun.
really well in the first one, actually. Well, not space battles, but the ship battles. Really, they did that well, so I'm excited to see how they go back to space like
I
they
reckon
did in the
they'll bring
originals.
it back just to like what they did again in Battlefront 2, where you actually have to take apart enemy bases and things in line. I have read they're not doing DLC as well, so it's all going to be...
Interesting. I think that will change.
Darth Maul's coming in.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul's a very, very big...
One of the
big
few highlights from the prequels.
He's one of the only guys to kill Liam Neeson. And he's gets 10 minutes screen time. Apparently they were going to have heaps of dialogue for him, but they cut it all out.
Oh,
So he's
just this silent dude. Oh, well.
What else? Was there anything else in it? Yeah. I'm just really keen for it. I'm going to go for it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's going to be crap. I'm going to buy it. Hopefully, I would love if they did a 2-player co-op.
Oh, bring it
Because,
back.
yeah,
That
I'm
was so good.
sick of... You can't do co-op on any PlayStation game,
No,
really.
it's all online now.
Yeah, like, I'd love if they just bring it... I did read they're bringing back one that's going to be co-op. Oh, it was going to be COD, but then it's just going to be... I thought it was going to be... It was rumored it was going to be a storyline co-op, but it's just going to be another zombies.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool, but, you know, a co-op storyline would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Single screen.
Be great fun.
What else is there?
Well, that's really it out of the big announcements that are confirmed.
You got your God of War, yeah.
God of War. Well, these are rumored things that, basically it's going to be showing stuff we've seen before or stuff that's been leaked. You know, the new Lord of the Rings game, Shadow of War, that will be shown off, I'm sure. So let's get into our really final bit of this special podcast.
The predictions.
Predictions. What are we going to see that hasn't been announced already?
I'll let you go first.
All right.
What are you hoping for?
All right. So what I'm hoping for, let's go from Microsoft. Even though I'm not a Microsoft person, and look, I probably won't go back to the Xbox unless they blow me away with Scorpio. You know, I want them to tempt me with something that's going to bring me back. I was almost tempted last year by the Rare Replay, where they brought back retro games, but didn't get into it. And the backwards compatibility was cool.
Yeah.
But you know, you see with Nintendo, with all their franchises that they repeat every year, basically. You know, your Pokemon's, Mario's, it's a nostalgia factor. You see PlayStation going to nostalgia factor with Ratchet and Clank.
Battlefront now.
Battlefront, I guess, yeah. Crash Bandicoot
Yeah.
coming soon. They're going back to their old classics. And given what we talked about with Microsoft, with being unlikely Gears of War, unlikely Halo, I wanted to see them bring back one of their old franchises. And a big love of mine growing up was Fable. I would love to see them some form of Fable. They cancelled one a few years ago, but that looked terrible. The cold one. Give me a Fable 4. I want Fable 4.
That'd be another cool one to get into.
What about you? Anything for Microsoft?
Microsoft, not really. Like I'm only really just started getting into it because of Halo.
Yeah.
Like, I always play Halo 1. But,
Well, how about Sony for you? Because you're more
Sony?
Sony.
Where are we? Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, that's been rumoured.
It's been rumoured. I need to smash out Bloodborne 1. I never really got into it that much, but...
Worst birthday gift I've ever gotten, by the way.
I'm getting back into it. Like, I've beaten the first boss now.
Yeah.
I really just want more details about Last of Us 2 and Days Gone.
Yeah.
Like, that is the big thing that I want to see, because Last of Us 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I still play it. It's probably my favourite game of all time. And this one looks amazing. So I just want more details about that.
But the good thing is they've said, we're taking so long because we don't want to rush it.
Exactly.
They
I
want to
don't
get the story
mind.
right.
Like, I want it now, but what's it called? I want to wait
Yeah.
as well.
So it's really big games like that. I'd like to, because as we said in our top 10, well, Daniel's one he was looking forward to was Last of Us 2, and that's going to be pushed back, I reckon, beyond 2018.
Probably.
But mine was South Park Fractured Butthole. It got delayed from, I think it was supposed to come out like last July, then last December, and now it's been, it said early 2017, but now they've officially said again October 17, I think. Just give me a sign that it's not going to be delayed again. Like, I'd rather they get it right. South Park games are fun, but I just want to play it already. So I'm sure it's there. I think the big smokies are going to be Nintendo for conference of the thing, because, like I said, they've got their product that's working. They've got the Switch. I want Pokemon to come out. I reckon they're going to surprise people after they've been annoyed at, oh, no Metroid Prime. Where's Metroid Prime? And then they gave them like here's a dodgy Metroid Prime mini game, and people are like, what is this? I reckon they're going to go that nostalgia way as well. They're going to bring back the originals, remaster them. And even though it was never for me, I think people will love that. People will go nuts for Metroid.
I'd like to play Metroid on Switch.
Yeah,
That'd be another pulling point for me.
Absolutely. And just, I'd like to see a few more details of the indie game releases. Like, I'm excited for Stardew Valley and stuff to come out. And I'll play another 70 hours of that. But
I can't see how you
yeah,
do that.
give me dates for the small indie games that they've talked about, and what other third-party games are coming to them.
Yeah. Dates for everything would be nice. Death Stranding date would be nice.
Death Stranding date. Oh,
Probably won't get it.
that would be huge. That'd be a
won't
big
get
winner
it.
for Sony.
We saw Hideo Kojima at RTX, and someone they're like at the start, no one asked about Death Stranding. I'm not going to tell you anything.
Shut that down quickly. So yeah, that would probably be Sony's biggest news if they can give us anything at Death Stranding.
Days Gone release date. Because Last of Us with zombie hordes. Can't complain.
No, we can't. Yeah, I think that's really it for our E3 analysis predictions.
I think so. We might do some stream during it if I finish my exams.
Yeah, come watch us. Maybe like play a game while we watch it, and
we'll commentate it.
like you said, commentate it. We'll tell you what's going on. Even if you have it on in the background and watch it along with us, be a bit of fun.
I might try and do one, even with exams.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys, for our special E3 podcast.